What up, guys? This is Derek Larger, and you're listening to Derek Larger Sports Talk. Today's segment is going to be a lot about the NFL Draft. I know that this is probably the only thing I'm going to be talking about for the next few days, but yesterday was the end of the NFL Draft. The NBA playoffs are starting up again in the next round soon. I will be talking about that more this week. But for here, we're going to just talk about the NFL Draft, end of it. We're going to rerun through the Colts Draft and some big names that got picked up in the last few days. One of the big ones was Joe Mixon going to the Cincinnati Bengals in the second round. I like that he was picked up in the second round. He was definitely worth the talent with the incident that he had, obviously. I don't like him going to the Bengals because of some of the other guys who have had who are not the best of role models. But obviously the Bengals are not afraid to take a risk on a player with a troubling past. Hats off to him. Best of luck to him. I hope to see him play very well and be a positive role model in the future. Desean Kaiser was definitely a big name for the second round, getting picked up by the Cleveland Browns. He's got a lot of work ahead of him, but I think that he could be a franchise quarterback one day if he develops his accuracy better. A couple of Buckeyes that got picked up in the second and third rounds. Raekwon McMillan going to the Dolphins. You're getting a very consistent linebacker. He does lack size a little bit. Sometimes isn't the best in pass coverage, but he is a very good run stopper. Curtis Samuel going to the Carolina Panthers. That was a very interesting pick for me. I did not see why they picked him with already getting Christian McCaffrey in the first round, but I can see why they did it, getting multiple threats in the backfield and in the receiving areas as well. You could put a triple option with Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, and Curtis Samuel in the backfield. And Curtis Samuel is going to be mainly your receiver, with Christian McCaffrey being a part-time receiver as well. So I can see why the Panthers picked him. A very solid pick. He's a very good athlete. Pat Elflein going to the Vikings in the third round. Fourth round, I should say. No, it was third round. It was third round. I like that pick. He sometimes can get blown off the ball, but I do like that he's a very strong individual that can play multiple positions for a Vikings organization that does need some offensive line help. So that's going to be very good. And be sure to leave comments, guys, if you want me to talk about any other player or anything about that, about the NFL draft or anything in that sort of regard. But for now, I'm going to get to the Colts draft. I give this an A- simply because of the certain amount of players and the positions at which we got them. Knowing Grigson, he would have picked half these guys that would have been head scratchers. I look down this list, and I can't find one player that I don't see why they picked him. I could see exactly why they picked him for this particular reason. So I'll break down each one. Round one, Malik Hooker. And this is a report that I got from NFL.com that had a base breakdown of every single person. It was graded out of 7. I will give you the grade and the report on it. So with the 15th pick in the first round, we got Malik Hooker, a 6'1", 206-pound safety out of Ohio State. Was graded a 6.7. He'll fit in Indianapolis beautifully. He's the best center fielder in this draft so far. The biggest concern is not the injuries, but the inconsistent tackling. Very true. He's compared to Ed Reed, which is very nice to know. Very good ball-hawking safety that will easily make our defense better from day one. I think many people worry too much about the inconsistent tackling. Yeah, he does miss some tackles, but then again, a lot of people miss tackles. And he does make some good tackles. I will say that. He's not afraid to hit some people when he's coming down the field. Sometimes in the open field, he does miss some tackles. So he will have to work on that, but otherwise, it's a great pick. Second round pick, Quincey Wilson. Cornerback, 6'1", 210-pound cornerback out of Florida, was graded a 5.7. Quincey Wilson is a big press corner. What I like is he's square and patient at the line of scrimmage. I'd like to just see him be more physical in the run game, get off blocks, and make tackles. His best attribute is he gets into receivers. He gets in their mind. He gets up close to them and makes them work for those yards. And he's very good at getting it. Like Malik Hooker, he's a very good interception guy. Had 6 career interceptions, which is very good. Yeah, and like I said, the toughest part for him is in the run game. But then again, that's not a huge issue. That's something that he can work on. But he is very good at getting in people's heads. He's very physical, which I really like about him, which is a great thing to put aside Vontae Davis. Our third-round pick, our 80th pick, Toro Bass, a 6'4", 269-pound defensive end out of Ohio University, was graded a 5.6. That's a good football player. Plays his tail off, base end, but could be in a 3-4 outside linebacker. He sets a physical edge. I think he plays really hard. I look at this and I see a little bit of a Dwight Freeney. Gets down on all fours, even in the outside, and will just bull rush anybody, and has a few moves up his sleeve. I really like this pick. I think it's a great one, especially if we're looking for that defensive end. Fourth pick, our 137th pick, Zack Boehner. This one is probably the most interesting one to me. An outside tackle, 6'8", 353 pounds at a USC, a 5.6 grade. Banner is a massive run-blocking specialist who could help a Colts run game that ranked 22nd in rush last year. The question is if he can be proved to be reliable in the pass protection. If he can learn to be a good pass protector, we could be looking at our future right tackle to go along Anthony Costanzo, and then Jack Newhart, Ryan Kelly, Joe Haig, and then this guy, Zack Boehner. It's a very interesting one. If he can learn to protect the right side, and with the ability to be as big of a run guy as he is, man, that's going to be something. I am impressed with that pick. Fourth round pick, 143rd pick, Marlon Mack, a running back out of South Florida. About my height, 5'11", 213 pounds, graded a 5.5. He's not going to be an every down back for us, obviously. He's the opposite of Frank Gore. He's a playmaker. He's got speed. Obviously, Frank Gore is still probably going to be carrying most of the load. But I love this pick because when Frank Gore's gone, this could be our 1 and 2 guy. And then Robert Turbin would still be our second, third down guy. I like what Chris Ballard's doing with the running backs. Frank Gore, Robert Turbin, Marlon Mack, even a Josh Ferguson. This kind of stuff, it provides depth, and I really like that. Also our fourth round pick, Grover Stewart. 6'5", defensive tackle, 295 pounds out of Albany State, Georgia. 5.2 grade. I like this pick. It's adding more of that depth for, he's probably going to redshirt. But, behind Jonathan Hankins, he could come in and potentially be that guy, later on. He's going to get some reps early first year. Round 5, the 158th pick, Nate Hairston, cornerback out of Temple, graded a 5.3. He was primarily a receiver early in his career, but he transferred to the cornerback position, and I would definitely say it's an interesting pick. I haven't heard much about him, but they said that he he's a pretty good guy for the ball, so we'll definitely see how that pans out. And then our last pick, the 5th round, was Anthony Walker Jr., linebacker out of Northwestern, 6'1", 240 pounds. Definitely a big guy. You can never have enough linebackers for our system. He's not the most athletic guy, but he is a very good assignment situated fit for the inside linebacker, which is definitely good for us. Overall, guys, I look at this roster and I see an A- grade because we got the positions we needed and we got guys that can develop. So I'm very ecstatic about this because With Grigson, we never would have expected what we could get, but I really like what Ballard has done so far, and I hope Pagano and the rest of the coaching staff can develop these players. So that was just a quick video for you guys. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to let me know any other changes that I need to make. And I'm Derek Larger. Till next time, guys. Peace.